Hello everyone, welcome to Trade. Today we're going to be seeing the Nifty and Banknifty levels for June 9th expiry, Thursday. What I've opened here is the daily chart of Banknifty. Our view of the market being bearish after this nice bearish engulf continues even after today's price action. The one thing that's important that I want to show on this daily chart is this level where Banknifty has taken support twice, that is around 34,830 or 840 region. Why this is important is even previously this level has acted as a good resistance. When we were in this range, right, we rejected this level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 times, right? 6-7 days we could not break out of this region. Sorry. And the Bank Nifty is at the same level now. It is possibly looking at a difficulty to break this level of 34,800. So this is one level that needs to break for the Bank Nifty to move further on the downside. This is what I wanted to show you on the daily chart. So we'll just go into our Bank Nifty intraday levels chart and just see what happened today. See, today there was an event, right, where the RBI governor announced the interest rate cut and stuff. So because of that, our view was we'll wait until 10 or 10:30 and then take a trade. But the morning when we opened itself, there was a little bit of sell-off, but we refrained from taking this trade. But we got a beautiful, this pink line that you see is the 200 EMA. We kind of rejected the 200 EMA, R1 previous day high, hit the CPR. We also made, this was a very high volatile candle. There's nothing you can trade or do anything. If anybody had entered or some kind of a stop loss that place, everything would have got hit. See, this one candle came and touched 34,830 and made a high of 35,060, almost like 250 points move in just one 5-minute candle. But this move was good. So when this is where the speech started at about 10 and the speech was going on, right? So our plan was we will buy if this 200 EMA breaks and R1 breaks. There's a nice narrow CPR, so expected to move until R2 and even possibly R3, like a good short covering can come. And the first target if R2 had hit was this level because of the price action. This is one trade that we caught today. The moment after this 5-minute candle came, and when the moment this candle came and the RSI went above 60, we entered and got out when this red candle was being formed at this good resistance. See, even in this kind of an impulsive move, we took resistance exactly where previously we had price action and then again started dipping. And again this move on the downside was good, but we were not able to capture much. It was just a little bit we captured. The best trade was when this previous day high again broke and then we came and touched even until the previous day low. From the previous day high until CPR, this was a good trade. This was a good trade based on logic and everything, right? See, shorting right here was not a good option, but shorting here after the 200 EMA broke on the downside and the previous day high broke, this trade was a good option. So we kind of attempted it and just made little money. See, my initial view was that after this kind of a move came, right, a lot more short covering will come and we might see levels of 34,500 at least. I was expecting until at least the swing high of 35,500, but the FII selling was so huge, we kind of like sold everything. All this up move was just sold into pretty quick. And this type of fall, if somebody had traded probably here or even entered over here when the previous day high broke, and this type of the fall and this type of move on the upside is what gives money in option buying. So it would have been a really fruitful day if somebody would have traded it properly. See, my plan was to post kind of this, that if this level breaks, can go long until R2 and 35,400 as target, but there was an issue with this app and I could not post it on time. but it's all sorted out now, so it should be good from tomorrow. So this was one good trading day if we had captured this move. And see, this was based on the CPI logic. Even shorting here, if somebody had taken a chance, they would have been in profit, but this was a much more safer shorting, because once we know that the previous day high breaks from the top, let me just clear this. See, as per the CPR, one of the CPR setup is if the previous day high breaks from the top, right, most likely we will hit the CPR. So based on that logic, this move we could have traded easily. Now coming to our levels for tomorrow, on 15-minute chart, these are the levels that I have marked, and I'll be using these levels. See, this support, see, this level is pretty important. I mentioned about this even on the daily chart. So this is the level that I mentioned, right? If this breaks, the next target on the downside is, the first immediate target is 34,740, and then we have no kind of a support until 34,400, but that is too far off, so we'll make use of the CPI levels for tomorrow. So when we make use of the CPI levels for tomorrow, we have S3 over here at 34,500, S2 at 34,670, and this level can act as a good support. Is why? Because of this price action. It came, made a wick and went up, right? So this, when the Bank Nifty comes here, it can bounce from here. We can get a short bounce, that is 34,740 is one of that level. And we have a, compared to today, we have a pretty wide CPR. So depending on whether we get a gap up or a gap down, right, there is a possibility we could be a little sideways. See, whatever call sellers had to exit and put sellers had to exit kind of happened today itself, right, on Wednesday. This move would have taken out most of the call sellers, and this move would have taken out most of the put sellers at 35,000. So there is a chance we could be a little sideways tomorrow. So again, whenever we have a wide CPR, the best plan is in the morning we might get a quick trade. If we get it, we'll try and take it. Otherwise, most of the day will be sideways, and since it's expiry post 1:30 or 12, we'll see if there's any breakdown of any level or any kind of a chart setup that is formed, and then take a trade. That is the plan for tomorrow. Just wait and see, and I can show you an example of a sideways day. This was a day where June 2nd, where we had a wide CPR. Let me put on this historical CPR. Sorry, this was the day where we had a very wide CPR. See, we just kind of remained sideways, right? There was not much move. Basically, we just remained within the first 15-minute candle range, right? So there's a possibility whenever this wide CPR happens, we might remain within that first 15-minute candle range. So we'll have to be careful, but there will be some certain scalping opportunity. We'll just try and do that. If this level doesn't get taken out in the morning, right, depending on, we don't know whether we're going to get a gap up or a gap down, right? So whatever happens, if this is not taken out in the morning, this level, and say we kind of be sideways, and later part of the day, if this level is taken out, that we can probably get a nice one of those 0 to hero trades where we can just get a quick dip until this S1 or S2 is also possible, because there's a very strong support, that is 34,800. Now just looking at the Nifty daily chart, there is one nice chart pattern that is being formed, which I want to see. This is a trend line that we are following where we are taking support, and this is almost like a bearish flag, right? From this downtrend, from 18,000, we made a small high, we again dipped. Now we have got some pullback. Probably if this flag and this trend line breaks, we could see some lower levels again in Nifty. So this chart pattern is something that I'll be monitoring in Nifty. And looking at the intraday levels in Nifty, right? For Nifty, a strong support is here where twice we have rejected this level of 16,300. In fact, I can just move this line a little higher, and this can be as a good support zone. So I can even mark it as a support zone because there are a lot of wicks over here, right? So we will have to include those wicks. So this support zone of 16,300 breaks, right? Then probably we can see 16,220, and even this gap fill. There's a small gap here which can probably come and get filled in Nifty. That's around 16,200. See, any long trade is probably if this level breaks, right, 16,037 on the upper side, we can buy, but the best place to buy is only if the 16,480 breaks on the upper side because of today's move, because of this today's short move. Anywhere between this, when if in case we get a bounce, right, anywhere until this 16,480 will, we can get a sharp reversal on the downside, and we can even make use of this Fibonacci levels for today. So any retracement until the 60 or 70%, we can expect a reversal, and a good buy is probably only if the 16,482 breaks on the upper side, and probably we might end up filling the gap. I'm not saying this will happen tomorrow, but just an view that a good buy can come only if this level of 16,480 breaks on the upper side. Just going to change this color to blue. And just looking at the open interest in Banknifty, right? See, the change in OI for tomorrow being an expiry, there's a lot of calls that's being added compared to the puts, and probably we would see the same, showing there is some resistance on the call side. See here, even 16,400 put, it's the OI is reduced, and a lot of change in OI showing resistance on the upper side, and the first level of support is coming in at 16,200 based on the open interest in Nifty, and a good resistance is 16,350 and 16,400. And for Bank Nifty, a good level of support is coming in at 35,500, and first level of resistance is 35,000. But one thing is, there are a lot of put sellers also still sitting at 35,000. If you see the change in, they have exited but not significantly. 35, anything above 35,000 is still showing as a good resistance based in the change in OI. So that's it for tomorrow. So basically our plan for tomorrow in simple terms is, if this level breaks, we'll short. If not, we'll just wait and see what the market does. We'll not be looking to buy calls as of now. It all depends on the, for Bank Nifty, buying is definitely only above this level now. The day, if tomorrow or day after tomorrow, anytime if this level of 35,400 breaks, that's when we'll go back into buying calls. Until then, we'll be looking to short. And if this level breaks is what I'll be very comfortable with shorting. And I will look for a price action like this where we break, come retest this level, and then get a dip. This is what I'm looking at. But also one thing to note is we have a pretty wide CPR, so we could have a pretty sideways day. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please hit the like button. Thank you.